Cheshie here. I'm back and recovering from Furnal Equinox 2025. And I had a great time at the con overall. But we have to ask, did the con manage to fix things from last year? Tune in to find out in approximately 30 more seconds because, well, I'm bad at clickbait. But before that, just a note. I didn't film much this year at the con. Last year I captured several hours of footage, only to use about 15 minutes of it, and spent more time scrubbing through it than using it. So I just chose to vibe more and will show what I have. If anything looks retro, it's probably from the year before because I ran out of footage. Oops. So, clickbait time. Did the con fix some of the issues? Well, looks like it. They took feedback into account and offered a great experience from my perspective, and from the people I talked to. Well, so much for the clickbait. So let's get last year's issues out of the way. If you saw my video last year, the two big issues were the shuttle not being very useful, and the so-called After Dark Dealer's Den being a complete mess for the first year. Did the convention address them? Well, I'm happy to say yes, they did. Gone was a school bus operating only during certain hours. Instead, there was a genuine party bus running through the whole con hours of operation. Pickup points were a bit hard to nail down due to construction, but once you knew where to go, it was good. Also, since there was only one official overflow hotel, it made for a much easier path. A sign would have been nice, or a bit more details on the site, but the tracker they added to the website did help pin things down, and overall it was a 100% improvement. Unlike last year where I walked every single time, this year I only walked once or twice and that was purely by choice, and never in fursuit. And hey, the bus gave some great photo ops. And the After Dark Dealer's Den? Gone was a Saturday night mess, and instead was a secondary dealer's room, starting and ending later than the regular room. And no waits, unless you were there right at opening, cause some of y'all were thirsty. And since you had all day to look, no crowds, and most importantly, Saturday night had way more energy, as like a third of the con wasn't waiting in line. Again, hats off to the staff for recognizing and fixing the problem. And overall, things seemed to go pretty well at the con. Thumbs up. Were there still issues? Well, the Hotel Hunger Games continued. As a sponsor who found out all the rooms were gone from leaked super sponsor codes, and later on seeing, hey guys, first come first served room dropping next week, after not getting a chance at a Western room at all, well, that kinda stung. I get it, there's no easy way to do it. But if things are going to be this short notice, maybe do the Anthrocon room request way, and don't rely on the honor code for super sponsors. Anyway, I had a room at the Overflow Hotel, and with the shuttle being good, it was manageable. Just always that extra gap throws off plans. Yes, I'm whining about 2 years in a row not getting our spot at the Westin as a sponsor. Just let me have this moment. And the other issue isn't really the con's fault, but the con did sell out by surprise. Usually cons like to give a heads up, but it sounds like there was a really sudden rush for badges and that happened before they could get the word out. Here is where I quietly point out, this seems to coincide with the US getting very, shall we say, not hospitable to travelers. So I wouldn't be surprised if some people changed their destination plans. But Furnal has always been rubbing up against the cap. Just this time, they slammed headfirst into it. Did the con handle the full house? Overall, yeah, they did. As I said before, the night market became a secondary dealer's den and allowed the event to not occupy a quarter of the con on Saturday night. And the vibe overall was much better. The only thing I can remark is, and this might seem counterintuitive, that the con may consider having more major events running against one another. Okay, hear me out on this one. If you've got 2 events you want to attend, but can only pick one, the FOMO you get is still better than having one event you want to see, but not getting in at all, right? And I know this is a bit harder at night, because there's a dance every night, so one of those 2 big rooms is always taken, but something to think about. Just saying. This isn't a deal breaker, just something I noticed with some events being overflowing. There's also the possibility of overflow video rooms, But I know that's a whole different technical hurdle, and realistically may no longer be an option. In terms of crowd and vibe, I think it had a really good one. Maybe because every person who was there had to pre-reg, and that stopped some last-minute party animals. But things seemed pretty well behaved from what I saw in my limited night wanderings. I didn't spend too long at the dances though. I'm not sure if the lights were different or I'm just getting old. Well, I am getting old, but the light setup was just blasting spotlights on and off at face height into the crowd, and that really made a death ray if you were in the wrong spot. And to be fair, I wasn't the only person I heard remarking about it. Like, moving spotlights? Sure thing. The occasional glow and moving stuff? Sure. But these were just like light cannons. Like, seriously, we left the dance because of this. And even outside the dance, we were still getting hit in the face by these lights. So, just seemed like really weird placement. Anyway, maybe that's just me getting old. The dance isn't my main reason to go, so others might have been fine with it. But yeah, the con went well from what I could tell, and what friends reported, vendor friends did well. My friend Cineskunk had a great concert on Friday. The night events had lots of people there this time. And talking to a couple of parents, it was a welcoming place for their kids. All good. The vibes were great, the crowds were welcoming, and I, well, did my best to battle the crushing, existential emptiness alone in my hotel room. See, I had my own room after some departures due to not having badges. And let me tell you, if you've ever stood alone in a silent hotel room, staring into the gaping maw of a fursuit, fully removed from the actual convention, you may start to wonder how you got there and what on earth you're doing. For me, there's always this moment, suit around my ankles, where I just have this moment of pause. What am I doing here? What am I accomplishing? Am I too old to be doing this? And well, for reasons I don't understand, I just keep going. With your life laid bare as you enter the void of the suit, it throws a lot of things into sharp relief. I wonder what specifically weird decisions led me, ostensibly an adult, to do these things, and what it will all mean in the final analysis. I wish I knew, but I don't. And maybe, just maybe, that's why I keep going. Because I don't know why. And at this point in time, I might as well put on the suit, raise a middle finger to my semblance of being a normal adult, and just try and find out. Or maybe, just like the bottle, there's no answers at the bottom of a fursuit either. Whoa, that got slightly personal for a minute or two. Sorry about that. Just something that kind of hit me hard this time. All in the dead quiet of the room where the only person pushing me forward was me. Anyway, like myself, Furnal has to face change and growth eventually. Next year promises to be the final year in the Westin, and the con's already hit the cap, but there's 1 year left on the contract. After that, a new location beckons. For next year, the theme is space, and Z the raccoon is one of the guests of honor. It's great to see her have this homecoming moment, and I'm sure it will be a special year as we all say goodbye to Furnal's current location, as the con, keeping with the theme, blasts off into space. For next year, expect a run on both rooms and badges, as the FOMO will be strong, plus a party as we bid farewell to the familiar. Hopefully we get more rooms at the Westin so we can all party together under one roof for one last time. And after? Well, the Westin really was a great spot for the con, but we've outgrown it. Short of drastically limiting the audience to be like adults only or something, there's no way we can stay there. Too bad, because the 3 big rooms is something we'll have a hard time finding at any mid-sized venue. So we do risk being swallowed up by a big venue and all the restrictions if we try to go bigger. The staff will have their work cut out for them, but a rapidly growing con is a nice problem to have. And with this much time to prepare, hopefully it can be awesome. I do want to talk more about the challenge of the trend of furry cons and their recent growth, but that, my friends, is another video. But hey, that's all 2 years down the road, and for now we've got next year. The stars await, and I hope to see you all there. So, did you attend Furnal? And if you did, how did you find things? Are you excited or terrified for next year or the year after? Let me know. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. All your support is awesome. Take care.